Let me preface this by saying that I've never had this teacher at BB&N. He has also never been my coach, my advisor, my mentor, my anything. On paper, he has played no more of a role in my BB&N career or life than probably most of you. In fact, some of you might even had more experiences with him or than I will ever have. So this tribute is not a speech to inform you on the life of someone I'm very close with, nor is it a tribute to deify one of the most notorious boogeymen of the senior grade. This is a tribute to someone who has made a profound impact on my life, and who I'm certain does not know it. So thank you, Mr. Clark. As seniors, we all know Mr. Clark through his dark and looming presence in our senior spring projects. When the school uses the carrot or stick approach, Mr. Ross Clark is always the stick. He is the threatening voice of Mr. Theobald and the outlier to the increasingly Cambridge Friends School type administration BB&N is becoming. I won't mince words here. Mr. Clark is stern, strict, severe, and mean when he has to be. So this speech is not an expose on the softer side of Mr. Clark. I am pretty sure there's not one. But it's a nod to the necessity of having a hard ass pushing forward once in a while. So when I was a sophomore, I received my second diagnosed concussion. It was also my most severe one to date. So the way the school handles it is on a case-by-case basis. The school is actually extremely accommodating. But the way it works is week one, most people kind of just sit out of their classes and walk around like it's 1969 at Woodstock, you know, that kind of phase. Week two is similar, but with people kind of slowly getting acclimated to the idea of having thoughts again. Week three, people are getting better, and by week four, the vast majority of people are either caught up with their work or catching up. When I was in week four of my sophomore year, my eyes were still glazed and my head was still throbbing. If any of you have ever stressed out about how much work you have over 1 week, take that much work and multiply it by 2 if you miss 2 weeks of school, 3 if you miss 3 weeks of school, and so on and so forth. If you kind of extrapolate that, that's a lot of work. By week 4, by week 5, you're missing a lot of work. I was out for 10 weeks. For 10 weeks, I couldn't take a test and I couldn't write a paper. Work was accumulating and my head was still fried. So I'll take you to week 9. I was sitting in the community room with a couple of friends the week before December exams. They were talking, I was focused on not thinking, and Mr. Clark walks in. He does that kind of big, chest out forward walk. So before this point, I had only known Mr. Clark as the scary guy whose office is near college counseling. So as he opens the wood and glass door of the community room, he calls my name and kind of gestures for me to come over. So I'm slow to catch on, but it's still Mr. Clark, so I have that kind of like, oh shit, what did I do kind of thought going through my head as I walked over to him. So I'm the same height as Mr. Clark, but somehow he still towered above me. So he kind of cleared his throat and spoke clearly and concisely. He said, let's figure this out. The let's part of what he said was more of a gesture of kindness. It was he that had the plan figured out, not me. So at this point, I wasn't better, but I was better enough. And Mr. Clark knew that. So what he did is he set up a schedule for me. I didn't take my exams the following week on time, but as soon as I got back from break, he put me on a strict regimen of bi-weekly exams in his office, weekly papers, and a seemingly endless amount of work on top of my normal classwork. I didn't think I would survive. Mr. Clark knew I would. He knew I just needed to start. He knew I just needed a push. And that's what he gave me. I didn't really fully recover until the summer after that year. And so if Mr. Clark didn't turn my self-pity and overbearing stress into determination, I would be graduating with the class of 2017. Sometimes we all just need a shove in the right direction. I know I did.